on this one. And as we look in on this, both teams, Kevin, keeping the same starting five as they have throughout the first 4 games this season.
JuanyaGreen has been exceptional in this season, and Sendarius Thornwell, Frank Martin says he's got to shoot the ball for South Carolina to be successful.
And the two Lithuanians, Hakevičius and Kaičinis, career highs in each of the last 2 games. Kaičinis the other night in the victory over DePaul with a career high 23. We're underway. South Carolina in the white and the yellow. Hofstra, and 9 players, 3 fouled out the other night. So depth certainly an issue constantly for Joe Mihalik, and as it will be all season long. Hakevičius, and he rolls it in. That's a good start for him. Hakevičius had a tough shooting night the other night, but did have a career-high 27 against Oral Roberts 2 games ago. On the move to the hoop, Denton Kuhn blocked by Hakevičius. And it's off of Kuhn, and it will be South Carolina basketball. There's Joe Mihalik, 3rd year, 33 and 37, his record as the head coach of Hofstra. Frank Martin, yeah, avert the eyes, folks. We talked about a stare the other night. His record 48 and 54. As head coach of South Carolina. Remember, he had all those successful years at K-State, couple of Sweet 16 appearances and an Elite 8 appearance in 2010 in which they fell to Butler.
And Frank Martin has 3 seniors that came in when he did. He really wants to get those seniors rewarded with a trip to the NCAA tournament.
Well, Hakevičius was practicing just that kind of shot in practice yesterday. Gets it back, nice feed from Dozier. And Hakevičius, a couple of baskets and a block. He's done it all so far for South Carolina. JuanyaGreen throws it away, the preseason Colonial Athletic Association Player of the Year with the turnover, and Hofstra gives it away on its first 2 possessions.
Hakevičius with not a real productive game against DePaul, but he has come out a house on fire to start this contest. And Hofstra in the zone that we saw so successful in their last game against Florida State.
Baseline jumper and Kaičinis. And the Lithuanian duo accounting for all 6 of South Carolina's points. It's 6-0 early. And here's JuanyaGreen, who had 17 points and 7 assists in the victory over Florida State. Nice backdoor feed to Amin Tanksley. And good defense from Carrera. Wedged in between the basket and the glass. The held ball will, or the jump ball, as a result, will stay with Hofstra.
We can see Joe Mihalik's trying to take advantage of the aggressive wing defense by South Carolina. A little back cut, a great recovery, and a block by South Carolina.
Joe Mihalik coming to Hofstra after so many years at Niagara, in which he led them to 2 NCAA appearances with Amin Tanksley and JuanyaGreen. They both transferred. Oh, first 3-point shot of the game for Brian Bernardi, and get used to number 14. He makes a lot of them. He is unbelievable, 15 for 22 from 3-point range on the season after that one.
That one was from the parking lot.
Thornwell trying to match, comes up short, and Bernardi grabs the rebound. Here's Green, 5th-year senior from Philadelphia, racing after his Hakevičius, and boy, he's been active early, and Frank Martin knows how much this success was predicated on Laimonas Hakevičius, but also the defensive end, not just the scoring end for him.
Laimonas has gained weight to give him more stamina, to be able to play longer and play more physical.
Just 3 for 11 from the floor the other night. Here's Bernardi, hesitation dribble against Dozier, who tips it. Rokas Gustis, the Lithuanian for Hofstra, runs into Michael Carrera, who was a very active player in the post for South Carolina the other night. For Frank Martin's team, 7 points, 3 rebounds.
Now, when you play South Carolina, you've got to be able to withstand that early thrust. They're going to come at you hard and strong.
This time it looks like Carrera might be the aggressor, and the first of many looks from Frank Martin.
Disbelief.
Well, they inbounded to Denton Kuhn, and Kuhn is another guy who filled up the stat sheet the other night. 15 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists for Hofstra, and the surprise win, one of many surprises in college basketball in the first week and a half. Long 3 for Tanksley over Thornwell, and a long rebound for Dozier, leading the break up the floor around Green. The Hofstra Pride, 20-14 a season ago. Kuhn thinks about the three. Instead goes to Green for three, and JuanyaGreen, along with Bernardi, back-to-back threes for Hofstra to tie it up.
Well, this is a team that's going to live by the three, die by the three. And Green, not only a great assist man, but he has the range to score. He can get by you in the middle. Short-range jump shots. A great ball movement. Going to stretch the defense. And Frank Martin says he's going to play a lot of zone against this Hofstra team.
DJ Dozier out. Marcus Stroman on for the Gamecocks. Carrera driving by Kuhn from 15. He swishes it.
Well, Carrera, we talked about his ability to play on balance. Great strength, sets his feet, gets in the heart of the defense, and delivers for the Gamecocks.
Well, Frank Martin saying this passion and strength, both his positive aspects, but also his weaknesses as well. Sometimes gets the better of him, but as we've seen the last couple of nights, he's used it to his strengths. Bernardi matched up with Thornwell, step back three. Oh, and he knocks down another one, and here we go again.
Was that Steph Curry-like? Bernardi told us he modeled his game all summer watching Steph Curry to get that quick release.
And Carrera knocks down a three-pointer, so it's a shootout from beyond the arc so far, 11-9 quickly. And you'll remember Steph Curry went to Davidson, another mid-major program, overlooked by a lot of schools. Fade from the baseline, and Tanksley knocks down a jumper, so a refreshing change from our last game, Tulsa and Indiana State, which neither team could really hit shots with consistency. We have an 11-11 tie, just over 4.5 minutes in. There's Hakevicius from 17. That just rolls off for him. Kaichanis, nice putback. And Tanksley just standing there flat-footed, did not get the rebound.
Kaichanis is very effective against the zone. He's like the chess piece that you can move all over the floor.
Green off balance, and he still hits the three. 4 3-point makes for Hofstra already. Thornwell down the lane, no good. But a foul is going to be called against Hofstra. Wow, gives both teams a chance to catch their breath right now as Denton Kuhn whistled for the foul. We've got plenty of shots coming in from both sides and an early 14-13 lead in favor of Hofstra. #1 team, 14-13 over South Carolina. And Kevin, they've done it with that three-point shooting prowess.
We're not even 5 minutes into the game, and they've already knocked down 4 triples. And JuanyaGreen gets one up top. How about that little shake and bake by the man from Philly? Fills it up. JuanyaGreen.
Green and Bernardi both 2 for 2 from three-point range. That guy right there, Bernardi, started out at SMU, transferred Didn't get a whole lot of offers, but he got a chance to play for Larry Brown, and he said that was huge for his development. Comes here, and he's been a three-point gunslinger. Stendarius Thornwell, after the foul against Kuhn, knocks in the free throw.
And Bernardi from Staten Island, a chance to get back home. Missed the family a little bit. Play in front of family and friends.
PJ Dozier back in. And Dwayne Notice also in, along with Chris Silva out of the timeout. And it's 15-14. South Carolina takes back the lead. And Rokas Gustiz, nice baseline feed to Tanksley. Just will not go down for him. And it's tapped out of bounds by Malik Nichols. And we'll go back to South Carolina, taking on Hofstra. You mentioned Hofstra from Hempstead, New York. Saw some of the fans in the stands. It's about a 30-40 minute drive to New York City proper, Manhattan. But they'll be tested next year against the SEC as well. They're going to face Kentucky, just announced a week or so ago. We've taken them on at the new Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Silva's shot not there. Grabs his own rebound. That comes up short, and now he'll get to the line.
Well, we talked in the open for South Carolina. A miss is a chance for an assist off the rim as they attack the glass as well as any team in the country, averaging 18 offensive rebounds per game. That'll be the challenge for Hofstra. Can they keep the white jerseys off the backboards?
Silva with his first point. Frank Martin's quick to point out his K-State teams, 2010-2011. One of those teams with the Elite Eight team led the nation in offensive rebounding, and that's what he's prides his team on. Offensive rebounding and opposition field goal percentage, the two key stats for him. Green on the other end, foul going up by Stroman.
Green with the ball in a string, great body control, draws the contact. He's been much more aggressive this game than he was in the start of the Florida State game where he came on late. JuanyaGreen with an agenda.
And certainly Joe Mihalik knows the importance of these kinds of games for Hofstra, because as we talked about on Friday night, their schedule, other than the Paradise Jam, they do not play any of the Power Six, quote-unquote, teams on their schedule during the regular season. And in successive games, they face Florida State. Now they get an SEC team in South Carolina. Dozier flips it to Kaičinis at the foul line. The senior Lithuanian backs it out to Notice, the leading scorer from a year ago. Can't get it to go. He gets it again. Driving past Tanksley. Cross court, Stroman to Notice. Dozier all alone from three.
Second chance opportunities by the Gamecocks. Excellent ball movement after that offensive rebound.
Two teams have combined for 6 three-pointers made.
Again, you see the back cut by Hofstra as South Carolina is up in the passing lanes. But boy, this is the second chance opportunity. There's the kick out. The freshman, Dozier, straight on.
Foul on Silva, sending Amin Tanksley, the fifth-year senior from Philadelphia, to the line. Averaged 16 points a game a season ago. This year at 14 points per game. Is 8 for 16 from the line, including that game and that miss at the free throw line. Kaičinis is out. His countryman Hakevicius replaces him.
Now this is a fast-paced game, and that's what Hofstra prefers. They want to get up and down the court, try to get some threes in transition. It'll be more difficult for them to score against a set South Carolina defense.
Hofstra averaging over 91 a game coming in. In the corner, Dozier trying to drop it out to Hakevicius, and we've got a foul called. And that was one of the big storylines the other night. 3 players fouling out another one. Denton Kuhn with 4 fouls for Hofstra, and that's a tightrope, as we talked about. They're going to have to walk all season long, as they have 9 on the roster here. Ibrahim Jambo still back home in Mali, the Clemson transfer who's eligible this year.
Well, Joe Mihalik did an excellent job of managing his bench in the win over the Seminoles.
Free throw long for Hakevicius.
You're going to see number 44, Andre Walker, entered the game. He earned some playing time after a great performance the last 8 minutes in their win. He had only played 4 minutes previous to this tournament.
He had 13 minutes against Florida State, scored 5 points, and provided some much-needed depth for this team.
Tipped out a couple offensive rebounds to keep possession for Hofstra. Only 2 true postmen on this Hofstra team. That would be Walker and Gustis.
Mid-post, Nichols deflected away, and South Carolina teammates are fighting each other for it. Was that kicked by Nichols? No, the referees don't say no. It's a scrum for the ball. Who wants it? Hakevicius gets it. Boy, and Frank Martin is hot on the sideline. Dozier, block going up. Silva's got it. He gets denied. Goes back up. Blocked again, and Kuhn can't hang on. It'll stay with South Carolina. Yep. Don't make eye contact, as we talked about the other night.
Now look at the white jersey. This is a scramble now. No longer can the coach call timeout if he thinks his player has possession. So you're going to see more of that type of scrum on the court because of the rule changes.
Hakevicius at the foul line. 6 on the shot clock. Thornwell back in for Stroman, and it rattles home. And we probably to belabor the point, but Thornwell, as Frank Martin told us, his shooting will be key for the success of the South Carolina Gamecock team. He came in only at 29% at the start of the day. Nichols, and a foul on the ground whistled by Brian Kersey.
Yeah, Thornwell 4 for 10. Then went over to Paul. Struggled from the three-point line. And those 4 were all close to the basket. He missed a number of mid-range jumpers. But Thornwell played hurt most of last year. Tendonitis in his knees, feels much better this season. He's healthy for once.
Jure Bowie on for the Hofstra Pride. Freshman from New York. In the corner, 3-point shot, a little long for Nichols. And it's Thornwell the rebound. Off and running Dozier. No look past the Kaitchanis. Nice play. He's got 6.
Kaitchanis picking up where he left off on Friday night. Scoring in a number of ways.
8-0 run for South Carolina to go up by 8. Hakevicius rolls it around to Thornwell. Cross court to Notice. And reshuffling the deck will be P.J. Dozier, the freshman from Columbia, South Carolina, McDonald's All-American. And once again, in on the play, Hakevicius, he's now got 7.
Well, South Carolina has identified the soft spot in the zone. Hakevicius has been around that free throw line, very effective.
South Carolina with 10 unanswered to take a 10-point lead over Hofstra with 11:25 to go. And it's Limonis Hakevicius doing a lot of the scoring. 10, Wednesday at 8 Eastern. Join us for a CBS Sports presentation of Hoops Confidential Veterans Classic as we provide an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at this year's Veterans Classic from the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, right here on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Well, look at the box score, Kevin. 10-0 run, and it's being done by South Carolina using the size to their advantage. +7 on the glass, 10-0 points in the paint.
7 offensive rebounds already for South Carolina. Hofstra has to find an answer for that barrage on the offensive glass from the team in white.
Green, Bernardi, Gustiz, Kuhn, and Tanksley, the starting 5 for Hofstra on the floor. Bernardi flips it over to Kuhn. Back up top to Green, 8 on the shot clock. Outlet Tanksley, 3 under pressure. No good, but on the weak side, Gustiz with the rebound, spin on Eric Cobb, blocked by Carrera. Puts it back up and gets fouled by Cobb, and for more, here's Monica Jonigan.
Coach Mahalik telling the pride in his huddle, guys, we got to get back to what we do. Drive and kick it out. Drive and kick it out. You saw him kick it out to the corner for that shot. Unfortunately, he missed. He also told them our offense is not doing great right this second, but it's on the defensive end where we have to get it together. Just because we're in a zone doesn't mean we can let them get away with those easy passes. We got to get to the spots and close out hard. That's what he's telling them, Danny.
Good point, Monica. And a defense, 26 points in 9 minutes, Kevin. That's a lot for a Hofstra team to give up at this point.
Well, Joel Mahalik told us your zone defense is only as good as the other team's zone offense. South Carolina has been able to get the ball in the middle, and now Hofstra switching to a man-to-man.
Cobb baseline turnaround, and he gets on the score sheet. 12-0 run. That's almost encompassed about 5 minutes since Hofstra has scored. Green, nice backdoor feed to Tanksley. Yeah, Green was one of the best passers in the nation last year, ranking 9th in the nation in assists.
And Tanksley continues to get backdoor cuts, that time successful.
Notice the Kaichenis, and South Carolina continues to go inside, pulverizing the post for Hofstra. Second foul against Kuhn, and to the line goes Kaichenis.
Kaichenis is a very difficult matchup. That time in the short corner, he can play at the three-point line, he can play with his back to the basket, and he gets himself to the free throw line. Not successful that time, but number 25 will be there quite often.
JuanyaGreen rises from 3, and he buries his 3rd 3 of the game, has 11 points in the first half. JuanyaGreen has a chance to become only the 4th player ever in Division I to score 1,000 points at 2 different schools.
Well, Coach Mahalik told us his team knows their identity, and that's what it is. They're fearless from the 3 line.
It's a 9-point game. Gamecocks on top. Carrera on the perimeter, defense by Tanksley. Runs out of option, 7 on the clock. Cobb from 16 short. Rokas Gustiz flips it back almost into trouble. And Green will shepherd it forward. And a palming violation, and Green turns it over for Hofstra. Notice out. Back on Dozier for the Gamecocks. DeJour Bowie on for Hofstra. And Denton Kuhn comes to the sideline.
Frank Martin using his bench. So he knows he has many more bodies than Joe Mahalik has in gold.
Kaichenis to Carrera, the 2 seniors, one from Lithuania, the other one with the ball from Venezuela, with Hakevicius ready to check on. The other senior, Dozier into the paint, the right-hand floater is good.
Oh, Dozier off a curl cut, read his defender, cut it inside, caught it right in the middle of the paint, took it to the front of the rim. Excellent move by the freshman.
DeJour Bowie, the freshman from the Bronx, all New York City as a senior. Under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Bowie gets it, he rises, he fires, he buries.
The freshman get in the act for Hofstra.
That's his 2nd 3-point make in 7 tries to start the year. On the baseline, Kaichenis against Gustiz, his countryman, and chalk that one up to Kaichenis, who played against Gustiz, as did Hakevicius, scrimmaging for the national team.
Hofstra does not have a matchup for Kaichenis.
There's Brian Bernardi, Thornwell right on his hip, and with good cause. Already hitting a couple of threes early. He's all alone though, and there's a foul away from the ball. Even though Bernardi hit it, he's frustrated, but Dozier goes down, taking the charge and forcing another Hofstra giveaway.
Bernardi got 2 early looks. Boy, you can see Dozier, he was standing there waiting well outside the arc. Bernardi drains it, but it doesn't count.
Yeah, he told us before that 8 3-pointer game in the season opener, he told Juanya Green and Amin Tanksley, I don't think I'm going to miss tonight. He almost didn't. Had a career high in scoring, had 8 3-pointers, 24 points total. Here's Juanya Green trying to slip past Carrera, trying to body him up, and he does. Juanya Green with 13 points.
Well, Green has come with an agenda tonight. That was excellent ability to shield the defender with his body, and now a turnover by South Carolina.
Carrera airmails one out of bounds, and Frank Martin not happy again. Well, all those seniors tell the freshmen, don't make eye contact, and you see Carrera avoids Frank Martin yet again. 8-point game, South Carolina on top. The death stare the other day, and tracing his roots to when he was a student at FI Florida International, when he started out his career at Miami Senior High School working as a bouncer, and even was offered a job to be the bodyguard for an Egyptian prince that he turned down and stuck with coaching. But if you go on YouTube, you could find a lot of good mashups on Frank Martin stare downs. He's almost legendary for that. And going to one of his practices, boy, that's something to put on your bucket list. Very entertaining. Juanya Green, they rolled it all the way over to Tanksley. Jump pass, Bernardi, nice extra pass to Green. Oh, Green is feeling it tonight.
The ball movement by the Pride on that possession. Perfection.
Juanya Green with 16 points in the first half. Thornwell drains it. He's having a nice start to the night. He's got 6 on 2 of 3 shooting and 3 assists.
Now the Gamecocks going to play that 3-2 zone. They'll know where number 14 Bernardi is at all times. But Green has been the one that's been killing them from the perimeter.
Brian Bernardi far from the hoop is where South Carolina wants him, but Bowie open for 3. Carrera lunges at him, enough pressure to make a miss, and it will go back to South Carolina. Kaichenis, Hakevicius, Stroman, Carrera, and Thornwell. They're 5 on the floor. Bowie out, and on for Hofstra for the first time this weekend is Justin Wright Foreman. He's the only guy that didn't play for Hofstra, and they had 3 guys foul out the other day, the freshman from Laurelton, New York. He's guarding the ball, number 3, 6 foot against Stroman, who's 6'2".
And Hofstra had to abandon the zone as the middle was exposed, and now going man-to-man.
On the baseline, Hukevicius against Nichols. No. On the second try, no, but Kaichinis there for the putback. And Kaichinis has 10 points to lead South Carolina.
Kaichinis has a feel for the ball. He knows what's going to come off the rim. He's been on that backside, pounding the glass.
Those two Lithuanians for South Carolina close from the same city, Klaipėda, Lithuania. Thrown away to Kaichinis. Kaichinis' mom was the high school teacher of Laimonas Hukevicius. Stroman misses off the front rim, batted out of bounds, and it will go right back to Hofstra. Some misses in the paint for a Carolina team that was just a few moments ago shooting 60%.
Stroman got the stare that time. He wasn't going to look over the bench as he missed the layup. Let's hope you're not a lip reader there, Danny.
I didn't see anything. This is cable television, right, Kevin? JuanyaGreen shuttling the ball forward. Brian Bernardi has not had much of a chance to go nuts yet, but Green has, and it continues. Oh my, what an exhibition we're seeing here. 19 points for JuanyaGreen. He's 6 of 7 from the floor.
Coach Mahalik told he was an NBA-type passer. He's showing NBA range with his 3-ball.
We got a ton of NBA scouts in attendance this weekend, and they're probably noticing Green's shooting prowess right now. Foul on the other end against Hukevicius, his first, and all of a sudden, which was a double-figure advantage for South Carolina, is down to 6. Look at that, 5 3-pointers. He's doing his best Brian Bernardi impersonation right now.
We've got 5 minutes left in the first half. He's got 19 points rung up. Last year, over 220 assists. JuanyaGreen is a complete ball player.
Remember, Bernardi set the school record with 8 3 games ago. What's in the water at Hempstead, New York? Better take a drink. Here's Green again. Can he do it again? Just off the mark, and Kaichinis on the weak side with the rebound. Matched up with Green. Dwayne Notice, and a foul away from the ball, and this one is going against South Carolina again. So some late turnovers in this first half after a pretty clean beginning to this game. Foul this time going on Kaichinis.
Kaichinis with a off-the-ball screen, moving, impeding the defender's progress. Again, we talked about the new rules. That's one that gets called away from the basketball. The clean-up play. More freedom of movement by the offense.
Amin Tanksley wide open for 3, short. Thornwell grabs the rebound. Stroman hurries it ahead.
Tanksley's had some good looks, but seems to be rushing his shot just a bit. Needs to settle in.
Thornwell slips by Green, who blocks him, and then a late whistle comes up, and the coaching staff not very happy. So Mahalik smiling at the late whistle. And it's going to be Green's first foul. What do you think here, Kevin?
He comes from behind. Looks pretty clean from this angle.
Well, you win some, you lose some. Green was the recipient of a favorable review call at the end of the game against Florida State. Here, Joe Mahalik not as happy at the whistle. Thornwell misses off the front rim. Let's check it out again on that Green play.
We'll have a little different version. It still looks fairly clean to me. You know, hand part of the ball, as we always say on the playground.
Some Darius Thornwell, tendonitis in both knees last season, limiting his effectiveness, but he never missed any game time, didn't take any days off, played through it. Says he's as healthy as he's been since the end of his freshman year. He'll come off after making the free throw, now with 7 points to make it a 7-point ball game. Dozier on the floor, along with Notice and Stroman, Hukevicius and Kaichinis, the backcourt for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
And you see the big hole right in the middle there is where Tanksley operated, collapsed the perimeter of the zone as he kicked it out.
Justin Wright Foreman with his first 2 of the Paradise Jam. He's one of the leading scorers in New York City last year.
Now that last play was patience because they had allowed time for Tanksley to come into the soft spot of the zone. Once it goes in there, the perimeter is going to collapse. resulted in an easy jump shot for Hofstra.
Nichols, who fouled out of the Florida State game with 2 fouls now.
It's that bounce pass from Green. Tanks a great awareness and the kick out.
So Kevicius will go to the line. And one thing you gotta love so far, Kevin, is the ball movement for Hofstra. Joe Mahalik, point guard LaSalle, played for Paul Westhead. Learned a few things in his day. Also assistant coach at DeMatha High School for the legendary Morgan Wooten. One of 3 high school coaches in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
And Justin Wright Foreman making that last jump shot. Did not play in the last game. But Joe Mahalik has got him in early here the first half.
Notice on the run. No good there. And here comes Wright Foreman bringing it forward. Tanksley on the wing. Pace picks up here.
Frank Martin's seen enough of his zone defense as Tanksy took advantage. Last possession, now back to the man-to-man.
And some jockeying for position's going to cost P.J. Dozier his first foul as Rokas Gustiz goes flying. Hofstra cutting into the South Carolina lead. It was as big as 12. It's down to 5. 3:41 to go in the half after this. Shooting for Juanya Green right in the middle of your screen.
24 of Hofstra's 34 points have come from the three-point line. Green with 5 triples, Bernardi 2 for 2.
And Green's got 20 points now. Mentioned on that list of players, 2 schools, 1,000+ points. That's a hard stat to do. John Manning, Kenny Battle, Gary Neal, and it could be Juanya Green, who just eclipsed 600 points this week.
And Juanya Green on the Bob Cousy watch list, and we can see why with the performance.